Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Welcome back to SunshinehazeCo, guys. This is actually a video, or one of the videos that I've been meaning to put up for quite some time. I've been wanting to do deck reviews and walkthroughs, and I've just never had the time or gotten around to doing it, and now I have the time, and I am getting around to doing it. So today, I'm going to do a quick deck walkthrough and quick review of the Muse Tarot. This deck is by Chris-Anne, illustrated by Chris-Anne, also the deck book. The deck guidebook. That was a mouthful, and I don't understand why. The deck guidebook is also written by her. I really enjoy tarot decks that come in these little keepsake boxes or keepsafe boxes, however you say it. I really enjoy those. Only thing with it is that when you get decks that come in boxes like this, they typically have a very small guidebook. I wear glasses, and I am realizing that my eyesight is getting a little bit worse as I get older. So, you gotta kind of strain to see the text if you don't have good eyesight, or you gotta wear your glasses. And it's just kind of hard to hold a tiny book. But I do like that the author does, or the creator does, give about 1.5 pages for each of the cards in the deck. She gives keywords, then she gives a prompt for the card, and then she gives a quick little description. There's also a poem that comes at the end of every description. For instance, let's do a major arcana. For the Wheel of Fortune, she has keywords. They say lucky time to move ahead, fate, destiny, spinning the wheel of fortune, the ups and downs of life, seeking serendipity, fortuitous timing, and cycles of change. For the prompt, it says cycling circumstance. And for the description, it's just a couple of paragraphs, and because it's short, I'll go on and read it to you guys. She has been up here before and down there. She has been all of these things. No one, not even the muse of the wheel, has learned how to love life to the fullest without experiencing the absence of satisfaction from time to time. She has learned to enjoy all the stages, accepting that she will rise and fall with the wheel's cycling energies. She loves to spin the wheels of fate for others, knowing that their difficult memories or karmic discomfort can be healed. She will gift you the seeds of serendipity and fate and bid you carry them with you so that you can plant your lucky opportunities along the way. In return, she asks you to seek your good fortune fervently, knowing that your destiny is bubbling with positive magic. It lies dormant, ready to be found. Follow her breadcrumbs of laughter and love because they are within your reach. And then she always finishes with a very, very short poem for the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel as it's called in this deck. It does say, sometimes the seeds of serendipity wait dormant till they're sought, and the waves of synchronicity must be noticed and not caught. And so I really enjoy that the author is very poetic and very creative, and the illustrations on the cards reflect this as well. There's illustrations and also photographs and collages, and they're very colorful. This deck does have a very feminine tone to it, very divine feminine energy, and it does speak a lot about receptivity when interpreting these cards. And one of my favorite things about this deck is that while it does correlate pretty much in alignment with traditional tarot, there aren't any king cards in this deck. So for the court cards, instead of the page, the knight, the queen, and the king, we have the page, the knight, the queen, and the muse. And in the guidebook, there's like a couple of pages on the author's definition and interpretation of the muse and muse energy. And I just really enjoy this deck. It is becoming one of my favorites. And it's pretty easy to read with because it does line up with tarot. So if you are familiar with tarot, traditional tarot, and the suits and the major and the minor arcana and the court cards, then you have a pretty easy time working with this deck. I would say that this is a deck maybe for like an intermediate or advanced reader. And I don't tell anybody, hey, don't read with that deck at first, but I wouldn't necessarily suggest it as a beginner's deck. I'm thinking like if I would have received this deck at first, like it would have been easy to interpret, but I think my base interpretations of tarot might be a little different than what is known to be the norm, which is not necessarily a bad thing because reading tarot is all about interpretation. The cards do have their meanings and their, you know, their messages. However, all these authors and illustrators and readers do interpret the cards in their own ways, especially with depending on the cards that are surrounding them. Okay. There are a couple of cards in this deck that are not that aren't named the same thing as they would be in the major arcana, and I'm trying to flip through the book right now to see if I can like find any or think of any of them, but I'm literally I'm seeing regular stuff. Of course, when I want to tell you guys about it, I'm not able to find it. Well, I kind of gave you guys one, the wheel. Oh, the Hanged Man, for instance. The Hanged Man in this deck is the Hanged Muse. Again, there really isn't a lot of focus on masculine energy in this deck, and not to say that you can't use these cards to give messages of masculine energy, but it's just not really present in the deck, and that's not a bad thing. I really like this deck, actually. What else can I tell you guys about this deck? The suit cards, for the suits, for the cards, she does work with the 4 regular suits: fire, air, water, and earth. However, they do have different names from what they are typically called in tarot, like wands, swords, pentacles, and cups. In this deck, you have inspiration for fire or wands, and you have voices for air or the sword suit. You have emotions for water or the cup suit, and for earth and pentacles, you have materials. And so I really love how creative and artistic and eloquent the creator is in the guidebook, and her interpretation of the messages of tarot in each of these cards in tarot on these in the book and on the cards. And that's really all that I have for this deck. I enjoy it. I give it like a 4 out of 5. And honestly, you guys are going to be like, this is so petty, but y'all know me: Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Venus. I'm also a Capricorn rising, and my Mercury is in Leo, so I've got a few, or more than a few, petty points in my chart. But the book does not have spreads. You guys know in every guidebook, there's usually spreads, that like a couple of spreads that the author gives. And not to say that that's really that serious. Like I said, I'm kind of petty. It's not that serious, because I read basically based on how I feel I should pull the cards. But for me, when I get new decks, I like to go through the guidebooks, and I like to look at the spreads that the author or the illustrator or the creator suggests, because it gives me more of an idea of the type of energy or the type of readings that I should be doing with the cards. If you read tarot and you read with several different decks, you know that sometimes you might use one deck for one type of reading, and you might use a different deck for a different type of reading. And sometimes looking at the spreads in the guidebooks helps me determine what types of readings I'm going to use these cards for. As far as myself goes, I've been using the Muse cards to read, like, do my personal readings, and also do readings that have to do a lot with like either love or like my creative projects, my passion projects. And reading for my clients, I've been using this deck a lot for my love readings. So if you're interested in getting this deck, that's kind of what I've been using it for. But again, spirituality and people that interpret tarot, you do it the way that you want to. But just a little suggestion there. They're really good. I like to use them for love readings and like passion projects, creative things. And I think that's all I want to tell you guys about this deck. And that's so crazy. I think I made the voiceover just long enough for the video. Hey. 2 points for me. All right, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try a few different like styles of putting these videos up in true Mercury retrograde fashion. I had this video filmed in a completely different way. And then when I uploaded it onto my MacBook, it was just choppy every time I did it. And I was like, yep, nope. Forget it. And I have learned that I'm not even finna play with Mercury. I'm just gonna do it a different way. Do it a different way. I ain't got time. If there are decks that you want to see me review or walk through, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. If I have decks that you know I own and you want to see them first, let me know. I'll come in here and check this every few days, and think I'll put up a couple of these videos a week. And yeah, you guys, check out whatever I've got linked down below in the description box. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch y'all next time. Peace.